Bullpen, which I think is probably one of my favorite shows because we are taking you behind the scenes and sharing what we're doing with our sales team, and in the hopes that you can actually learn something from what we're doing and apply it to your business to help expand and grow your sales. And today, I'm going to be sharing what we're doing in terms of using and leveraging our CRM to help generate more sales. Because I think, especially I've been there too, where people think, oh yeah, all I need is a new CRM and it's going to make me a ton of money for this reason and this reason. That's a myth, right? A CRM is a tool, and like any tool, you can use a tool the right way or you can use the tool the wrong way. And like ever since I started in sales, I remember I used to run a home painting business, and my CRM, and this shows you how long ago it was. We had one of those plastic tubs with the files in it, and that was the CRM. So I would move people from lead to qualified, and I would manually move people because I would be driving from house to house doing these sales presentations, and that was the CRM. We didn't really have, my phone. I would just call people on my phone. I wouldn't even send text messages on my phone at that time. So that was my first CRM. And did it work? Yes. Was it messy and complicated? It definitely was, because you're busy, you're like eating your meal in your car, and then you got to move the one file from this side to this side, and it got kind of complex. Now, we've moved a long way from that. My passenger seat CRM, my client relationship management system. We moved from that to now some really, really impressive platforms that can make a huge difference in terms of your efficiency, your team's efficiency, and how you move people through your sales process. Because at the end of the day, when we think of sales, like a business has like three key functions in terms of what we got to do. Like we got to generate the lead, we got to do lead gen, we have to convert that lead into a sale, and then we have to fulfill on that sale and deliver the product. That's really what we're doing. And a CRM can help you move through all three stages. So let me draw this out, and then we will go through it. So we got to generate the lead. That's number one. Then we have to move them to convert. Then we fulfill. That's basically what we're doing in a nutshell. Now, the question is, how can the CRM help us do all of these things better? Now, I can tell you my roadside, plastic tote couldn't give me reminders. I actually had one of those, those spiral ring, day timers where every day is a new page, and it was thick like this. And so when I was on the phone, because I would be driving up to a place, I would pick up the phone, I would call some of the leads that came in, right? So I'd be calling, and then I would be flipping my pages trying to book an appointments there. There were no automated appointment reminders. That didn't exist. I would have to call manually and remind people of their appointments. I would have to do all the reschedules manually and move things around. I would have to cross things out in my binder and then move things. I remember the mistake I made one time was I started writing things in pencil, but then, it got wet and then it disappeared. So then I had to move to pen, but then with pen, you have to cross everything out. Anyways, really, really complicated. Now, so much better. So let me focus first on lead gen and how you can use and leverage your CRM to help you with your lead gen. I think the very first thing, and this is probably different from what most people would say, but now you can do a whole bunch of tracking. So if you're running paid ads, if you're paying to put your face or your offer in front of people on Facebook, on Meta, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever it is, you're spending money and you want to know where all the conversions are coming from. So you can whittle it down and find the most quality people in that audience. Now with CRMs, I don't care if it's HubSpot, if it's Go High Level, it doesn't matter what it is, Salesforce. You can actually use your CRM to help track and prepare reports. So when you're running paid ads, there's something called UTM. right? And this is going to track, what browser somebody was using, what the campaign name was, what the audience was, what the ad they actually clicked on. And your CRM can take this UTM that's tacked on the end of the URL, right? Usually there's a question mark and then a whole bunch of gobbledygook. That's what we're looking for. Your CRM can now take this and now create reports so you can see, hey, 80% of my most qualified leads are now coming from this one ad. Or, hey, the most of my sales over the past 30 days have come from this particular audience that I'm serving my ad to. With my little book in my plastic tote in the car, I was driving around in a 1993 white Dodge minivan with an all red interior. As I was doing that, I didn't have that. I would just be estimating things because I was like a one-man selling show. Obviously I had the painting crews, but like I was the lead qualifier. I was the salesperson. I was doing everything. I couldn't do that. If I would have been able to pick up my phone now with the CRM apps, I'd actually start tagging things and it would automatically take the UTM codes from the ads and tell me and prepare reports. It would have given me so much more insight into my business. And I probably would have been able to make a lot better educated decisions about the business because I just have more data, right? So the tracking side for lead gen does a lot. So you can go into HubSpot and see, hey, all of my most qualified leads are coming from these ad creatives, or hey, I'm serving the ads to this group of people and this is what's working best for me. That's what it gives you. Now, it also gives you speed, because when a lead is generated, right? Harvard Business Review did a study, and I think it was like 391%, whatever. If you let's call it almost 400%. You have an almost 400% increased chance of converting a lead if you contact them in the first 5 minutes. Now, me driving around in the Dodge minivan with the plastic tote, I was slow, right? Because there was no hands-free calling at the time, or like it was pretty bush league, right? So I would have to drive and then I would stop and then I would see, I got like a page for a new lead, and then I would pick up the phone. Now with the CRMs, you have SMS texting features, you have automated email features. So now what you can do is as soon as a lead comes in, you can actually send them a text right off the bat. Hey, I'm away, I'm talking with the client right now. I'm going to call you back in the next 20 minutes, but I just wanted to let you know I got your inquiry. Perfect. We're telling them, hey, I'm a real person. I got your stuff. Just hang tight for a little bit. I'm going to call you back. Perfect. You can send them an automated email saying the same thing. But now the speed to lead thing, now with online funnels and ads and tying into the CRM, we can actually take somebody from an ad to an application. Now they can actually book on our calendar, and they've set themselves up on the calendar. So what we do is we have people fill in an application, and depending on the answers they give us in the application, they can get taken to a couple different calendars, and now they can get booked in on the calendar and actually like book themselves in. So now you don't even have to call them anymore like I used to with my huge like flip ring binder. You don't have to do that anymore, right? They can just book themselves. And now you're going to have a whole bunch of leads that didn't book, and now you can call through those people, but it's just going to make things a whole lot easier. So the CRM, number one, tracking, because you have to know where this stuff comes from and where your most qualified customers are coming from. But number two is speed, right? You have to be able to get in touch with people, because if you're leaving leads for hours or days, which is the standard in most people's businesses, like you call up a lawyer, right? For most lawyers, you call them up and leave a voicemail. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days for somebody to get back to you. That's insane, right? That's insane. And I think one of the things I learned the most from is, when I was selling houses, there's 101 million different real estate agents out there. Speed to lead is so important. If you don't get somebody in the first couple of minutes, you're never getting them on the phone. And that taught me you have to have the speed to lead. Now you can leverage the CRM to help you do that, those automated texts. And then also what you can do is you can have dynamic lists. So when a lead comes in, you can actually have your fresh leads pop up. So if you're ripping through calls on your CRM, whether it's on your phone with your app or on your desktop or on your laptop, you can have a special list with almost all CRMs, and you can tweak it by the time the lead was created. So you can make sure your freshest, your newest leads show up at the top. So as you're ripping through your calls, they're going to get called first, right? It's all about efficiency. And before, you didn't have that, right? When I would get the page and then I would have to manually write somebody down and move them in the list, like I just would have a stack of paper of all the leads and I would have to call and flip through. It wasn't easy. I couldn't just have automatically like click a button and it would get all filed. Now it's 100% like that. Now you just click a button, you can like sort leads, you can say, hey, give me all the leads that were created in the past, 30 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. And now you get 20 leads that show up. Or hey, give me all the leads that came in today that haven't been contacted. Boom, boom, boom. And now you can just rip through with your calls. So much more efficiency, right? So much more efficiency. Now moving on the conversion side, which is where you make your money. CRMs are a good one. Used properly is worth its weight in gold. It really is. Because here's the problem. If you're generating a large volume of leads, right? We generate a lot of leads. If you're generating a large amount, people will fall through the cracks. It just will happen. A CRM will help limit that. So again, my tote. If I misplaced a piece of paper, if I had it in the wrong one, maybe I accidentally moved them from a qualified lead to the customer thing by mistake, or maybe like this happened a lot, the tote fell over and then it would spill and I misplaced somebody, that lead was gone, fell through the cracks, literally fell through the crack in between the center console and the seat, right? Or fell out of the van door, right? You are literally losing leads. With CRMs, you can actually create a tighter system so you're losing less people. Because as you're creating your sales pipeline, everybody's got a sales pipeline, right? A new lead is created. You've contacted them. You've qualified them. You've given a proposal. You're in nurture. You've got closed, and we've got even more stages on our pipeline. But that's a basic sales pipeline. Your CRM can help you manage how many people are in each pipeline. And then your CRM can help you figure out your closing rate for each stage. So maybe, 1 out of 5 people who makes it to proposal is going to close. Well, now your CRM is going to help you estimate your total contract value and what's coming up in your pipeline based on how many leads you're generating and the percentage of those people that get moved to qualified and the percentage of those people that move to proposal. And now at proposal, 20% of people are ending up closing. Perfect. Now you can estimate, hey, in the next 30 days, this is what my revenue is most likely going to be at because of this many leads that just got generated. That's where a CRM can really, really help you on the conversion side. So you can see, hey, listen, well, this month, I'm kind of light in terms of leads. Like we're down, 15% in terms of leads. Maybe I have to ratchet that up to hit my target. Or, hey, I'm getting less, less people are making it to qualified. What's going on with my sales process? Are we being too tight? Like, is something shifted? Your CRM can tell you. The paper in my van could not tell me that. I had to go by feel. It's like, oh, this month, it doesn't feel like we're having as many appointments. Or I would have to count through, oh, I have this many things, or I would have to count through how many leads. Now, it just pulls up on your dashboard with the click of a button. This is the power of a CRM used the right way. Now, what do most people not do? Well, they don't have their pipeline set up, right? They don't track how many leads they generate. They don't have a qualified pipeline stage. They don't actually go through and have the CRM help them figure out their closing rate, right? They don't have these numbers, so now the CRM can't do what it's supposed to for you. But this is huge. And then in terms of conversion, what happens after you've had that initial sales presentation? I can tell you what, most salespeople make one follow-up call, and that's it, right? You can make yourself an exceptional salesperson just by making 3 follow-up calls. And we know that it's going to take, probably on the number 6 to number 12 in terms of follow-ups before most sales are going to happen. So if you're not making those follow-up calls, you're losing out on sales. Now, how does the CRM help you do this? It helps you track how many follow-up calls you've made to a prospect. So now you can track that and have dynamic lists where, hey, like show me all my prospects where I follow up with them once. Perfect, you rip through that. Hey, show me all the prospects I followed up 5 times with. Great, rip through that. Hey, what prospects have I followed up 8 times with? Boom, you rip through that. It's going to help you stay on top of the follow-up because salespeople hate follow-ups. That's why they don't happen, right? They don't make those calls. But the CRM, if you have that dashboard front and center and you know your stats and you know that, hey, out of all your follow-ups, those people at that stage, you're going to close X amount, you have that top of mind, you can see in real dollar values, hey, there's $500,000 in this list right now, just based on my previous numbers with follow-ups. That's going to incentivize you and give you that motivation to hit those follow-ups, right? So, but this is where the CRM helps. It's not just a bucket of papers or just a list on Excel. You can actually translate and help and use the CRM to do what it's supposed to, which is put real dollar numbers in front of you and compared to the number of leads and people in that pipeline stage. That's huge. So now you have sales, you give somebody a proposal, right? You give them the proposal. Now you have to follow up, right? Maybe you didn't do a one call close. So now you have to follow up. If you're not tracking it, if you're not using a CRM to help you move through all those different stages, you're literally burning money. Because I guarantee if you just follow up with those people, you would be on the ball and you would be closing, right? And that's what you have to do. So in terms of conversion, the CRM can help you with that. Now, you probably have standard objections or questions that you get. The CRM can help you because depending on the type of prospect you have or the type of thing, you can create an automated email sequence that goes out after a proposal. Because if you're getting all the same standard questions, number one, you're going to deal with that and change your closing script, your sales script, so you deal with those up front. But you can start dripping different features. If you're doing SaaS, maybe you start dripping all the functionality, some case studies from other companies. That's what you want to start dripping out. And the CRM can automate that stuff for you so you don't even have to worry about it. And then the CRM can start sending you reminders and daily tasks. Hey, make sure you call this person. It's been 3 days. Hey, make sure you call this person. It's been 2 weeks since your last call. It's just going to help you catch the people falling through the cracks that otherwise would be missed. And especially in my old van setup, that was like, I guarantee I missed so much stuff just because it was a manual, archaic system of rocking and rolling. Now, in terms of fulfillment, so with a lot of sales teams, and this is why I'm learning more and more as we scale and more into the space. There's always a disconnect between sales and you make the sale versus the fulfillment side. So what I mean by fulfillment is, hey, this is the actual execution team. So the salesperson makes the sale, right? They collect the check, they get the contract signed, and now they have to get passed off to the customer success team, the fulfillment team, whatever it's called. There's always a disconnect. But what the CRM can do is the CRM can actually help you make that a lot more seamless. So now with the CRM, as soon as you move somebody to a paid customer, so whether it's when they sign the contract through the CRM, maybe it tags them, and now it's going to unleash or unlock, I should call it, a bunch of different automated sequences that go out. So maybe it's going to ping the fulfillment team, the customer success team, hey, new contract signed. Make sure you get in touch with them. Maybe it's going to send off an automated welcome text and email being like, hey, just saw you completed the contract. These are the next steps. Let's book on this calendar. Maybe it's going to send them an automated calendar with an SMS message. Hey, it's Sarah from Customer Success. Really excited to have you on board. Here's my calendar, book in, let's get you going. Like all this stuff can be automated now. So now there's not that 3 or 4 day lull that sometimes happens between sales team being like, oh yeah, I closed the sale. And then fulfillment's being like, oh yeah, I heard you close the sale, but where are they? Oh, I thought I sent it to you. Oh no, I forgot. Sorry, I got hopped on a call. That happens. But the CRM, if you automate these types of things, it just happens. And now all you have to do, your sales team and you You just have to make sure that you're using the CRM. So anytime you talk with somebody, you tag them appropriately. You close somebody, they go from qualified to closed. That's what you have to do. You have to let the system help you, right? You have to buy in. And also on fulfillment, you can start tracking, right? Hey, with my customers, where's my drop-off point? What are my renewal percentages with my customers, right? With the old school way, it was really hard to do. Now you can see, hey, pull up all my past closes for the last 6 months. If you run on 6-month contracts, what percentage renewed for the next 6 months? Oh, 30%. Okay, well, now you can look into that and say, hey, like only 30% of my people are renewing for the next 6 months. How do we change our offer? How do we change our process to make sure it's better? You need those numbers. And the CRM is going to make it really, really easy for you. So let me just share a couple quick things in terms of how we're using our CRM and some things you can steal for your own business. So in terms of the lead gen side, the speed to lead, we use a lot of automated SMS as soon as somebody opts in, right? Because we want to let them know, hey, like we've got your stuff, and we generate a large amount of leads, and we just want to make sure, hey, people know, hey, like we got your stuff, like we got your inquiry, like perfect, like we'll be in touch. So we rely a lot on those automated SMS. In addition, depending on where a lead's at and how long it's been since they were created, and if we haven't got them on the call, we have an automated text sequence that also goes out. So rather than having the sales rep rip through and individually text so many people, and if I can go back to the minivan example running the painting company, it was like if I had to send a text, that was back in the day where you had to press the button like 3 times to get the new letter. It would have taken me forever. Now the automated text message goes out and it frees up the salesperson to rip through and dial. Perfect. In terms of tracking, we use the tracking features in the CRM, but we also use some third-party tracking because we want to dial in on, hey, like this is exactly where the revenue is coming from. These are the ads that are performing. This is what's not performing, that type of stuff. Now, in terms of conversion, our sales pipeline, with sales pipelines, you want to make it detailed enough so you can actually extract the data and understand where people are at, but not make it too complicated that salespeople won't use it. Because as soon as you overcomplicate things, that's when you get less compliance with its usage. So with us, we have somebody created a lead. We're attempting to contact them. We've qualified them. We've got an appointment booked. We've got a nurture stage after we've done a proposal. Then we've got closed customer. That's our pipeline in a nutshell. Now we've got different calendars and different types of people depending on the applications we get. We've got a couple different calendars that they can find themselves on depending on the size of, if it's our event conference accelerator offer, depending on the size of their event. If it's our other offers, it would depend on how much money they're raising, types of real estate, that type of thing. So the CRM can actually help us reroute people to the proper calendar, which then saves efficiency. Because with the closing calendar, with the salesperson's calendar, if you're tying up an hour block, but then you hop on the call and you realize, hey, this person should have ended up on this person's calendar, that's going to kill your calendar efficiency. So the CRM can help you basically automate this stuff by asking a couple questions during the lead gen phase. We understand where they're at, and now they get properly routed to the conversion calendar, and now they're talking with the right people on day one. Makes it so much better and so much easier. So we make a lot of use out of those forms and surveys that can then route people to the appropriate person, and they get on the call, they're talking with the right person. We're keeping our calendars a lot more efficient. It's just way, way better. And in terms of fulfillment, like tracking calls and everything, hey, how often are our customers booking calls with our account managers, right? We want to track that. Hey, what percentage of our programs and our content are being used or being absorbed by our customers? So hey, most of the time people are using, maybe it's like 60% of our content that they're going through. Great. At what point are they stopping? Why is that happening, right? You have to get more data so you can actually understand how people are using the system. And again, our CRM helps us do that. So from A to Z, A to Z, all the way from the lead actually being created and us finding, hey, like, where is this person coming from, and helping us get in touch faster through the conversion. So, hey, like, let's turn this person from a lead and, giving them a proposal on how we can help them, and we convert them into a sale. That definitely helps. All the way through, hey, help us work with this person and execute and get them the results. Like, our CRM is huge. We run our entire company through our CRM. Right? That's how important it is. And so it's really taken us from when I was running that painting business to the tote in my passenger seat, flipping through things, chicken scratch, having the big like appointment booking ring spiral binder that was a dog's breakfast. We've gone from that to now like a finely tuned CRM machine that does literally everything for us. So that's how you can leverage the CRM. And once you get that data and you can see those dashboards and reports, you're going to have a much better understanding of your business, which I didn't have back in the day when I was painting houses, right? I had no clue. But today we do. I can literally pull up my laptop and see the whole dashboard and how many leads we generated, where everybody's at in the pipeline. Like, I can see all of that type of stuff, right? So CRM is huge. But, like I mentioned with the bullpen, the reason I'm doing this is I'm sharing my experience in terms of building out our $1 billion sales team. So if you are a salesperson and you are a killer, I'm hiring killers. So what I want you to do is go to careers.sethferguson.org and learn more about what we're doing. We've got a video there. We've got some job postings. If you're a killer, I want to talk to you because we need good people, because we are rapidly scaling this company. We are rapidly building our sales team. We're looking for killers. All right. So go to careers.sethferguson.org and just let's get in touch. Now, Robbie, what's up?
We have a question.
Sure.
At what point do you decide that it's financially viable to hire live sales callers? What ticket items would make sense based on your experience of expense to income ratio?
Oh, well, I can tell you right now, if you don't have somebody picking up the phone, you're losing money, 100%, right? Because what's going to happen is you're going to generate a lot of leads. And if you're just relying, and I'm going to make an assumption here, the assumption is you are relying on a sales page or a video sales letter to make the sales for you if you don't have sales right now, or email follow-up. There are people on there because that's a passive way to sell. Right. So somebody's coming in, you're relying them on watching the video or reading the sales copy. Then you're relying on them to open up your email and read the email copy to convey the value of your product, and then have them take action. People don't like making commitments. People will not take action on their own most of the time. So if you're running everybody to a sales type of page and you don't have somebody calling them and being not aggressive, but being proactive with it and getting on the phone, learning about the customer and helping them through the sales process, you're losing a ton of money. So I would say immediately, whether it's you doing it on your own to start, or once you get some sales in, you got to get somebody in there. Because you could be losing out on 30, 40, 50% of your total potential sales by not having somebody going through those leads, right? That's a huge part of it. And that's the thing I've learned. So on Thursdays, I run Event Domination, which is where I share the lessons I've learned from scaling my conference. And so many events that we work with, they just send people to a buy now page for tickets. But like most of the time, people need to actually talk with somebody real on the phone to actually buy a ticket, right? That's what it takes. So it's, like you need to get on the phone, 100%. You need to get somebody on the phone. I would say, I wouldn't worry too much about cost now, because you're losing more by not having them. But then you have to train them, right? And we'll cover that in another week. Awesome. Cool. So I got to get back to some sales on the other side of the wall. So I hope you enjoyed this. CRM, massive. If you don't have a CRM, get one. There's cheap options. There's really expensive options. And in my experience, the most expensive one isn't always the best one. So you just want to do your homework. All right. So I will see you guys on a Thursday for event domination. Until then, have fun.